My name is Michael Paris. Well, I'm an American citizen and I retired 7 years ago and moved to Chiang Mai, Thailand. And on March the 1st, 2020, I came to Da Nang for a 3-month visit. And within a week or 10 days of my arrival, COVID-19 hit Da Nang City. And so I planned on being here for 3 months and doing some travel photography and just exploring the culture. And within 10 days, I was stuck in my apartment.
So what was the impression?
Well, kind of like everyone else, I was a bit nervous and not sure what was happening. I knew that the virus was coming when I was actually looking for places to stay. And I found this place, and I thought it was, if in fact I was going to be stuck in my house, this would be a comfortable place to be. So yeah, I at first thought it would be a couple weeks and be over. But like everyone else, I just had to just keep putting one foot in front of the other and seeing what was happening. I was never per se scared. The only problem was I don't speak Vietnamese language, and at the beginning there was a lot of commotion with the government trucks going up and down and speaking in Vietnamese language. And so I didn't have anybody to, I had a friend, Tony, across town that I would email and ask him what's happening. So yeah, not knowing the language and not really understanding what was happening around me was a bit scary at first, but luckily I had my friend Tony who could help me understand what the government was doing.
So how about the pandemic this year?
Well, there's been, as you know, we would close down and lock up, and then we'd open up, and the first year was good because it was manageable. When we would close down, the virus would get under control fairly quickly and open back up, and things would be pretty normal. I play tennis. I play tennis with different tennis teams, and we would get back to like a normal life. And but this year was a whole other story. It was the new virus, the new variant, and it just started off very strong, where we had to stay at home, and then it just kept getting stronger as the virus kept spreading. And it was frustrating. It was scary. It was it was many things. But I never felt uncared for, or I felt very safe with my landlord and the community and the government. I never felt like it was mismanaged. Of course, on Facebook and other social medias, people were criticizing. But the government, I think, was doing the best they could with what they knew to do, and it's much easier to criticize what was going on than to actually manage the situation. So, and I knew this, and so I just kind of just had patience and trust and and hope. Yeah. Well, they brought me food. They brought me many food items, and would make sure that anytime my landlord, anytime that I needed anything, they would help assist me to get it. Like when I ran out of water, or if I needed food, they would help me to obtain that. Yeah. I did take some photos, yes, but yeah, nothing. A couple videos I took of when they brought the food. Yeah, you can, yes. Well, like I said, it was. I think a lot of people were scared. They didn't know what was happening. I think, we had both ends of the streets with chain link fences, and then I think there was we would get COVID tested, and I think a family down the street, just a few houses down, had a positive case, and so they had built a roadblock around this person's house, and then along the street, just a couple houses down, and yeah, I think and you could feel the uncertainty and the community, just the neighborhood being frightened on what was happening and the management of it. So, yeah.
So, after all, if you tell about the story of happening in Vietnam, what would you tell to your friends or children?
Well, I've said from the get-go, I felt blessed to have ended up, of all places to be, to end up, and it was just by accident, because I retired 7 years ago and live in Chiang Mai, Thailand, but normally every year I go to Bali Island for 3 months. And this year I decided to just by chance, come to Vietnam for 3 months. And I have friends in Bali, and I would much rather have gone through the pandemic here in Da Nang City than on the island of Bali. I had some healthcare issues, and I had bought some health insurance, and they took care of me here at the hospital. And yeah, I feel really safe here in Vietnam and feel very cared for. And very, very pleased with the way that the government's handled it. And again, I mean, I could, like anyone else, I can criticize them and say that coulda, shoulda, woulda done this or that, but nobody has a game plan for this, And it's that way around the world. People will criticize their governments or their communities for not doing it correctly, but nobody knows the correct way to deal with this, And I think every community around the world is just doing the best they can, But I, again, feel very blessed to have ended up here in Da Nang City for the entire pandemic. Yeah. I have not gotten the vaccine, but I've registered, and I'm waiting to hear. I'm hoping that I can either, again, I understand I can't choose the vaccine, but I hear that there's 3 different types. There's the AstraZeneca, the Moderna, and I'm not sure what the other one is, but the Moderna and the I can't think of the other one. But AstraZeneca seems to be the one that's distributed the most. But unfortunately, it's not recognized in America. I'm not sure why. And I do plan on returning to America to get some healthcare issues, and then return to Thailand. But if I get the AstraZeneca when I get to America, it's not recognized, so I'll have to start. So I'm hoping to get the Moderna here. So yeah, I'm hoping soon. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
The spirit of the interview is
Anh làm dễ thương lắm.
Yeah, that I feel safe, and I'm blessed to have been here, and and I think I covered that. I think I wish they wouldn't have locked me down so much. Blah blah blah. So.
I think tôi thì đã coi một cái cảnh ông đi ra ngoài cửa là ngó nghiêng ở cái khu vực